the biofuel stories now have gotten so polarized that you're either with us or against us.
Some people look out and see empty fields as another solution to all our energy problems and an alternative to ethanol that is squeezed from corn.
Though gasoline prices are at record levels, there is a growing backlash against what was once thought to be a realistic alternative, biofuels.
One kind are biofuels that we derive from our current food crops, and that's the kind we're making right now. The shortcomings are it takes a lot of energy to grow the corn, to grow the soybeans. It takes a lot of energy to convert those into usable energy sources. When you're done with all of that, 80% of the energy in that gallon of ethanol is fossil energy it took to make the fertilizer, to grow the corn, to transport the corn, and convert the corn into ethanol.
Not only is corn ethanol wildly inefficient, I mean, it actually takes more energy to produce it than it ends up providing.
But it turns out that it takes just about as much energy to produce ethanol as you get when you burn ethanol.
Or wood chips, or a high diversity mixture of prairie grasses, take that biomass, mow it, cut it, whatever, and convert it into liquid fuels. Almost all the energy that you get out is actually new, non-fossil energy, renewable energy.
Ethanol, a biofuel, can be produced not only from corn, but sugarcane, switchgrass, even wood. And using it instead of gasoline decreases the amount of pollutants a car emits.
Corn needs 3 times more fertilizer than any other crop, and fertilizers are themselves a major source of greenhouse gases.
The microbes can transform cellulose, that fibrous material in the cells of plants, into sugar, which can then be fermented into cellulosic ethanol.
Kurtz and his team are working full throttle, looking for and patenting the ideal algae to make fuels.
Ethanol boosters say the solution is to make it from cellulose, prairie grass, farm waste. But the technology for that is years away.
With the push to produce more alternate fuel sources, the search is on for ways to keep corn on the table rather than in the gas tank.
Fire is that inflation may be back. This reflects both structural factors and cyclical factors, including the importance taken by biofuels.
I'm a recovering alcoholic rodeo clown, and even I knew that using America's farms to feed its cars would make our food cost more.
The food versus fuel debate has pegged much of the blame for rising food costs on biofuel production. But some industry proponents disagree.
All vegetable oils in the world, which is used for biodiesel production, you talk about 1 or 2%. And again, also if you look at the facts in terms of the rise in food prices and the drop in food prices that we saw over the last few months, that has much more to do with speculation.
Why are prices so high?
Commodities are higher because of increased demand from improving economies in China and India and the rest of the developing world.
As a food, corn and soy are expensive, partially because of demand and a weak dollar, but also because Wall Street is now tracking them along with the price of oil.
The U.S. Department of Agriculture claims only a 3% increase in food costs can be blamed on biofuels, but a World Bank report puts that number much higher, about 70 to 75%.
Increased push for ethanol has led to a sharp increase in corn growing, which means much more land must be plowed. And that means much more fertilizer, much more water must be used on farms, and more pesticides.
It's called switchgrass. Farmers like Tim Brannan are being paid to grow it as a biofuel test crop.
We had heard about switchgrass. We had never seen this stuff.
It's cheap, easy to farm, and because it doesn't need a lot of water or fertilizer, it's more environmentally friendly than corn.
A country that prioritizes fuel over food is not just short-sighted and arrogant, it's doomed.
In the end, we're going to have a predominance on renewable energy sources. We're going to have a sustained push to get these renewables to replace conventional fossil fuels.
I think these are problems that will be solvable. I don't see any issue with solving these problems. I just hope that we start trying to solve them very soon.